All right, you guys. So what's going on today? What you just saw me do. Doing or building monster shoulders. All right, for beginner basics. What I just did here, why did I do it a certain way? Maybe you guys picked up on it, maybe you didn't. Okay, this is what I was doing. When we do seated, we're taking a lot of the jerkiness and movements out, all right? And when I'm showing beginners how to do this stuff, I'd rather have you seated to take out so much body English. Body English, body English, okay? So what we're trying to do is really isolate the movements to get your mind and your muscle knowing what's going on, okay? That's first off. Second, I've already gone through and I've done the heavy stuff, and I'm not so much worried on you guys, and I'm talking to beginners, you guys doing these big monster crazy heavy weights in the beginning. That's not my concern. That shouldn't be your concern either. The fact that you're just starting off compared to doing nothing, anything, is gonna make you grow. And what you're trying to do is get the mind muscle connection. And then what you're also trying to do is making it a habit. Well, if you don't see results and you don't feel results, well, then you're gonna quit. So this is one exercise that I give a lot of beginners, and they love it. They start to notice their shoulders are popping a little bit more. And here's the tricks, okay? So we're going from the side. Now from here, it might have just looked like, hey man, you're just going from here to here. That's it. That's all you're doing. No, it wasn't. What I was doing was, as I was coming up, I'm also coming back. What do I mean by that? Okay. As I'm coming up from the side, this would be normal, right? Right. So as I'm coming up, you'd see this. Here's the trick. As I'm coming up, I'm coming back. No, I am not like a bench press. That would be like a bench press. I'm not pulling that hard. So what I'm doing is I'm coming up, and as I come up, I'm just pulling back, and then I'm coming back down. So it's almost like I'm partially drawing a bow and then coming back down. Why? All right, you might ask that question. Why are you doing it that way? Reason why I'm doing it that way is it limits the amount of movement. Not just movement going up, going down, but it limits the cheating movement. If we just go from here to here, the shoulder itself stays a little more loose, and you start going in the front, and you start going behind, and you're just kind of doing, getting it up any way that you can. Again, this is a beginner's version. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in that to you guys. But if we can get you to lock in better, sooner, you're gonna get better results, sooner results, okay? So as you come up and you start pulling back, you have to mentally make that connection, and you're gonna start to feel it. So as you come up, you have to almost squeeze it a little bit and feel the squeeze. That's introducing your mind to that portion of the shoulder. Now we are using a little bit of rear delt when you do that. When you come up here and then you pull back, that's gonna be a little bit of rear delt. But here is a way of knowing, hey, what part of the shoulder am I working? So many people say, hey, this is front delt, this is side delt, this is rear delt. This is a very on the surface way of knowing what you're doing, your thumb, okay? If you take your thumb and we sit sideways, and I'm looking right at you, my thumb's pointing straight up, I'm working front delt. My thumb's pointing in front of me, I'm working side delt. My thumb's pointing straight down, I'm working rear delt, okay? So that right there is giving you guys some tips. So as you're doing a movement, if you start doing what I just showed you, and your thumb's kind of pointing up, you're gonna be working a little more front delt, okay? So you wanna make sure those thumbs are pointing forward or slightly down, okay? We're not freaking like this, but slightly down. So as you come up, it's feeling that thumb coming forward, pouring water is an old version. But as we come up, we're just pulling back and down, back and down. So that's gonna slow you up. Now you can do them together, and you can do them individually, whatever you want to do. It's no big deal. It's gonna get you to the end of the road, okay? It's like being on being at an airport and going, hey man, what's the quickest way to Dallas, Texas? The airline's gonna look at you and go, take any flight that you want. They all get you there. Understand? So it's gonna get you there. There's just so many different versions. But what you have to do is you need to know how to get to the airport first. So this is gonna link you in, all right? Now with this again, we wanna do high reps. I did 20, and I'll probably end up doing something like 4 or 5 sets of 20. So I'm gonna work to get 100 out of this. This is kind of a finisher for me for my side delts. But what is a finisher for me used to be what I first started with, and what I do, a lot of beginners with. It's like, you don't need to go crazy. All we got to do is just introduce it, get the fatigue into the muscle, and get you onto that repetitive road. Then when you start to feel all that stuff work correctly, well, then we can start leading you into heavier movements. Because why? We're going to be safe. If you're just jerking things around and you're kind of loose and you're not keeping certain portions of the body tight, that's where injuries can come into play. So first, let's make sure that mind-muscle connection's there, that the joint itself has actually got some muscle on it before we start asking it to go crazy and heavy and things like that. And that should be for every part of your body. So again, if you guys like what's going on, and these are just little short videos with some just insight and some basic information, please check out the Strength Family channel. We got tons of stuff on there that are more in depth, longer videos, and more fun, and just things like that. So if you're looking for leg routines and back and shoulders and biceps and chest and all that, we got you covered, man. We got you covered. So please leave a comment, share, like, subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you guys on another episode, all right? So stay strong, stay on that fitness road, my friends. All right, have a good one.